grand jury has indicted Barry Morphew on the single count of murder in the first degree.
Yet another stunning twist in the case of Suzanne Morphew, a Colorado mom of two who went missing on Mother's Day in 2020. Her husband, Barry Morphew, now charged a second time for her murder.
It has been a long road, but I can tell you that our law enforcement officers have never forgotten, have never given up, and they have been working so hard to get to the place where we are today.
This latest update, years in the making.
With a case that's been simmering for almost half a decade, the death of Suzanne Morphew has all of the hallmarks of a true crime case. A husband, a missing wife, a suspicious death, a body that wasn't recovered until some years later.
The case has topped headlines and captivated the public.
A twist in the case of a missing Colorado mom.
New developments tonight in the disappearance of that Colorado mom.
Barry Morphew was initially charged with first-degree murder and evidence tampering 4 years ago. Those charges later dropped just days before his trial was set to begin.
In 2022, the prosecution dropped the case against Barry Morphew because there was a number of holes within their case. There were some evidentiary issues that they were precluded from presenting, but probably the most serious part of it, they didn't have a body. No cause or manner of death to really explain what happened to Suzanne Morphew.
In 2023, Morphew spoke exclusively to ABC News with his daughters Mallory and Macy by his side, maintaining his innocence and claiming his life had been ruined by the allegations.
Did you have anything to do with the disappearance of your wife?
Absolutely not.
You never had a shred of doubt that your dad was completely innocent?
I've never had a shred of doubt. Not one.
It all began on Mother's Day 2020. Suzanne's family says she went on a solo bike ride near their home in Salida, Colorado, then vanished. When the 49-year-old didn't return, Barry Morphew asked a neighbor to call police. At the time, Morphew was reportedly near Denver, over 3 hours away.
If anyone is out there that can hear this, that has you, please, no questions asked, however much they want. I will do whatever it takes to get you back. Honey, I love you.
Was there any indication before she disappeared that something was amiss?
No. Macy and I were texting her on our road trip, having the sweetest conversations and sending her pictures of the fun that we were having.
Did you observe any fights, arguments, disagreements between your mom and your dad that concerned you before?
No.
Before her disappearance, Suzanne was fighting cancer.
I know that she was going through chemotherapy for the last couple of years before her disappearance, and I know she was going through some hard things and made some bad decisions. But
what kind of bad decisions?
She was really having trouble with the chemotherapy and the drugs.
Prosecutors say Suzanne was having an affair with a high school friend, who authorities ruled out as a suspect.
When you found out that Suzanne was having an affair, what was your first thought?
My heart was broke. My heart was broken. I didn't believe it. Anybody that knows her wouldn't have believed it, and I didn't believe it until they showed me proof. I made them prove it because they kept lying to me about other things. I thought, well, this is another lie to get me to say something, and I made them prove it, and it was just heartbreaking.
Morphew denied the marriage was in trouble.
We had a wonderful life, wonderful marriage. She was just so loving and giving and such a good mother.
But a 100-plus page affidavit from the district attorney filed in May 2021 presents a different story. Prosecutors offering texts which appear to show a strained marriage, Suzanne referring to her husband as Jekyll and Hyde, and just before she disappeared, telling him, "I'm done." Suzanne's sister telling an FBI investigator that in the months leading up to her disappearance, Suzanne had come to realize what a narcissist her husband Barry was. And she shared a text message she says Suzanne sent her just days before she was reported missing, saying he's also been abusive emotionally and physically.
She revealed to me that she had really kind of come out of her denial about her marriage and that there was a lot of unrest in the home.
According to the affidavit, Melinda told investigators when she found out that Suzanne was missing, she said, "Damn it, damn it, damn it," to herself because she was certain that Barry killed her. In that same affidavit, authorities saying Barry Morphew denied any physical abuse or altercations between Suzanne and him.
I absolutely believe Barry Morphew was involved in my sister's death and disappearance.
In September 2023, more than a year after the initial charges against Barry Morphew were dropped, and just months after his interview with ABC, authorities say they discovered Suzanne's remains in a shallow grave, 45 miles south of the family home.
A major development in the case of Suzanne Morphew. 3 years later, officials say they've found her remains.
Cracking the cold case wide open, raising new questions about what happened to the Colorado mom and who is responsible.
The toxicology report officially determining Suzanne's death a homicide and finding a chemical cocktail consistent with an animal tranquilizer known as BAM in her bones, noting these drugs are marketed as a compounded injectable chemical immobilizer for wildlife. According to the new indictment, prescription records show that when Suzanne Morphew disappeared, only one private citizen living in that entire area of the state had access to BAM, Barry Morphew.
The most shocking part of this indictment is how the prosecution is tying this all together through what was found in Suzanne Morphew's body. This compound of drugs within her system. Barry Morphew has access to BAM, the tranquilizer cocktail, because it's used to transport deer from one location to another. And he's admitted to not only having the drug, but using it on his deer farm.
The indictment also alleging there were other contradictions in Morphew's statement about being at a job site during the time of his wife's disappearance, saying video evidence shows he was there for less than 30 minutes and seen placing items in multiple trash cans. His lawyer telling ABC News, yet again, the government allows their predetermined conclusion to lead their search for evidence. Barry maintains his innocence. The case has not changed, and the outcome will not either. Morphew is currently in custody in Arizona, awaiting extradition back to Colorado.